Hi everyone, Chris here from IELTS Advantage, and here we are again today with Michelle, David, and Damien. In our last video, we talked about IELTS myths and misconceptions, and that video went so well. We got so many views. You can check it out on our YouTube channel here. I'll link it above as well. And what we did in that video was we asked you guys, do you have any questions for our IELTS experts? Because it's very rare for you to have access to um, an array of IELTS experts, IELTS examiners that can answer your questions. So in this video, we're going to take all those frequently asked questions and answer them for you. Next question is one of the most common questions we get. What is the difference between IDP and the British Council? And luckily, guys, we have one examiner from IDP and we have one examiner from the British Council who are going to answer this question.
I should say I was the examiner with the British Council, and I know that Michelle there worked for IDP, and a lot of the time students ask me, should I take or should I book a test with the British Council and with IDP just to make sure I get the best score? And they often ask, what's the difference? Now, there is no difference. The British Council and IDP are exactly the same. The IELTS exam is the same worldwide. The IELTS examiners, whether they work for the British Council or IDP, are trained in exactly the same way. So whether you book your test at IDP or the British Council, your result will be the same.
And what would you say, Michelle, to someone who said, well, I know someone who did the test and the British Council and got a 6, and I know the same person went and did it at IDP and got a 7.
I would say that they would probably gave different performances in each of their tests. So I think what a lot of people don't realize is that the test is jointly owned. So, it's owned by IDP and the British Council. They own it together. So there's not going to be any difference in the way that, one organization administers the test or the other organization administers the test. It's exactly the same. So it is possible that you as an individual will perform better one day and worse the next day. That is totally possible. You might get a topic that you have some specialized knowledge about or some interest in, which is good luck for you because then you've got so much more to say about the topic, right? And I think that the difference in score is probably better explained that way than in trying to think about any difference between British Council.
Human performance is influenced by a myriad of different things. If we performed at the same level all at the same time, there would be no sport because we would know the score of Barcelona versus Real Madrid. We're like, okay, it's going to be exactly the same as the last time because the players are going to perform exactly the same. Or, two boxers or two MMA fighters or two cricket teams or whatever, if they play each other 100 times, the score is probably going to be different most of the time. And one very dangerous thing that we see, and again, I always talk about mindset. Students who blame IDP or the British Council, or it was my teacher's fault, or the course's fault, or it's easier in one city than another, or it's easier or native English speaker test or examiners are easier than non-native English. You are basically blaming everybody else for your score and not taking responsibility for your own performance. And I know that's difficult because when you fail at something, it's easy to blame other things. What is difficult is the thing you need to do is say, okay, I didn't do well in the test. What do I need to do to improve? And the students who do that will always eventually get the score that they need. The students who say, oh, well, I'll do it at BC next time. Oh, I went and failed. Okay, I'll do it in another city. I knew one student who flew from Iran to Vancouver because they heard that from someone on the internet that Vancouver IDP or Vancouver BC was easier, and they actually paid thousands of dollars and wasted a week of their life doing that. And then they started working with us, and we said, what you really need to do is fix your grammar and your vocabulary and your task achievement. And they did that, and then they went and got the score that they needed. So yeah, I would say that that's the most important thing. You need to take responsibility for your own performance. Damien, any input on that?
I was just about to say something very similar, not quite a big trip, but I've had students I've helped book the test because I was for an administrative manner, and they travelled the length of the country to find a different centre because they heard the rumour that it was easier. And of course, it's not. It's about what you say. It's trying to be honest with yourself and accept the limitations you have and try to improve them rather than hoping that magically another centre will give you the score that you need. It's not going to happen that way.
Is what takes more work, traveling to every test center in your country, or flying to a new country, or just getting someone to help you with your work and working on those things? And don't book the test until you're ready. Don't book the test and then figure out how to get the score that you need. Figure out how to get the score that you need, be 100% sure, and then book the test, and then that's gonna mean that you get the score that you need. Good, guys. Thanks very much. Thanks very much for watching. If you have any other questions that you need help with, there's two things you can do. Number one, you can go to our website, IELTSadvantage.com. You can also check out the rest of this YouTube channel. It's got hundreds of videos that'll help you with your IELTS preparation. Second thing you can do is send us an email. We answer 100% of the emails that come into us. Chris at IELTS Advantage is my email address. You can send me an email, and either me or one of the team will answer any IELTS questions that you have. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you have any other questions as well, feel free to put them in the comments below. We read all the comments, and we'll try our best to answer any of your IELTS questions. David, Damien, Michelle, thank you so much for your help. And I'm sure we'll be seeing you again soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.